All of this has just emphasized more that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing to start my virtual assistant business. Can I get an amen? Amen, amen. Hey, Laptop Freedom Babes, Wonderlust Babes.
How are you? This is Hello from Greece.
Hello. Hello, Wonderlusters. It is live at 5. That was 10. I was going to wear my ship captain's hat, but in fact, my hair doesn't look too bad today, so I'm not. But I did make, in honor of it, a rum-based cocktail. A dark and stormy, I believe. So if any of you are having a cocktail, cheers. I'd love to hear what you're having or where you're enjoying your cocktail. I love a good cocktail with our Live at 5 trainings. If you are new to the group, we had so many new members pop in. Hello, I am Rebecca. I run the Laptop Freedom Program, which is a program on how to start your virtual assistant business, as well as a program for moms, Laptop Freedom Mom. So super, super cool. I'm so excited that you're here. So if you have any questions or comments, fire them away right in the comments. They come up live for me. I want today's live to be a little more interactive than they usually are, because I want to talk about something that I do, everyone does, and it's soaking in all of that free information that we are fed on how to start our virtual assistant business. So if you are catching the replay or if you're watching live, give me a little hands up in the comments if you have downloaded a fuck ton of free information on how to start your virtual assistant business and you're like, I'm still overwhelmed. So this is something that's out there. I do it as well. I'm always learning, always soaking information. And I find that what free information allows us to do is test out whether we want to, go in this direction or whether we like a particular coach or mentor or something like that. It allows us at a really low risk to sort of test out that type of information. Here are a few reasons, though, why that free information, all of that free information can lead to overwhelm. Yes, Katie, I'm so glad you're here. Hi, Katie. Katie's in the Laptop Freedom Program, and I love her. Here are a couple reasons why all of that free information actually might be equaling your overwhelm. And you might be feeling overwhelmed, you might be feeling jammed and stuck about starting your virtual assistant business, and it may not have occurred to you that that might have something to do with all of that free information that you are soaking in, all those PDFs that you're downloading, all of those free webinars that you're watching, all of those email lists that you're on, and you're getting tons of emails in your email box. Let me know if this is ringing a bell. I'm totally victim of it as well. But here are a couple reasons why a lot of this free information can equal overwhelm. So, when you are out grabbing as much information as you can, you sometimes end up receiving multiple perspectives and different pieces of advice. And so you're like downloading one piece of advice and you're like, okay, this is how this person tells me to start my virtual assistant business. And then you go and you download another piece of advice or you join someone else's mailing list, and they're telling you different things about how to start your virtual assistant business. And you're like, wait, what? Hold on. I thought I needed a website to start my VA business. Now Rebecca's in my inbox telling me I don't need a website to start my VA business. All of this has just emphasized more that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing to start my virtual assistant business. Can I get an amen? Amen, amen, okay? So that's one reason why free information and taking in as much free information as you can to test out this virtual assistant thing can lead to overwhelm. Let's see what I got in the comments. Amazing. Okay, the second reason is because this information is free, it is missing key pieces of information. There wouldn't be anyone in business and people wouldn't be able to put food on their table and put a roof over their head if they only gave free information. So at a certain point, these people do need to earn an income from what they know. And so free information only gets you so far. It only gets you so far. And then eventually you need to either figure it out on your own and reinvent the wheel, or you get to start to invest in more further information to support you. So here's the thing, free information is missing information. That was a lot of informations in one sentence. But it either only takes you so far, or it only shows you one piece of the puzzle, or it's missing pieces of information, or if you have watched a million of those free webinars and at the end of the webinar, they're like, hey, you've got an hour to get this discount to join this program, da, da, da. And you're like, wait a second, I thought this was a free webinar. That is all part of business, and that information is, that free stuff is only going to take you so far. And so when you are soaking in all of this free information that gives you like one snapshot, like this is how you build a VA website, but then like cuts short on what is next, that adds to your overwhelm. You're like, oh my gosh, like what? Like, I got a piece of the information, but now I have no idea what's next. And you're just like, fuck it, I don't know anything. This is crazy. Why do I want to start my own VA business? I've lost my mind, right? And so that part of free information that's missing, and you can tell, you can like feel it in your heart that you're like, there's pieces missing to this, or I wish I need to know more, but I just want to stick with free information. It adds to that stress and that overwhelm of starting a virtual assistant business. Third, right, okay, I made notes, that's what I'm reading. You have no idea what is right, and you're afraid to fuck up something new. Can I get an amen? How many of you are curious about virtual assisting? Hi, Danny. Curious about virtual assisting. You're like, I want to be a digital nomad. This is the life, right? But you are so afraid of fucking it up. And so you don't actually get started. And so you limit yourself. You're like, okay, I'm just going to do free information because that's low risk. And if I screw this thing up, at least I didn't like invest my ego or time or money or anything like that into it. So I'm just going to stick with the free information. So that free information, it only gets you so far, and it just adds to this overwhelm that you in fact don't know what you're doing, or your dreams are too unachievable, or all of this like silly self-limiting conversations that we have in our heads. The fourth reason is none of this free information actually tells you how to start. It doesn't actually get you started. It doesn't get you out of bed. It doesn't get you sitting behind your laptop. It doesn't get you going. You can read and consume free information forever and not actually start your virtual assistant business. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? This emoji. Can you guys put this emoji in the comments, please? Actually, no, I just look like a reindeer. This emoji in the comments. That is the thing about free information. It doesn't actually put a fire under your ass, kick you out of bed, and get you going in your virtual assistant business. Hi, Michaela. Michaela's in my Laptop Freedom Moms program. I love you. Okay. You don't have any skin in the game. This is the last piece. This is reason number 5 why free information can be really overwhelming and work against you when you're starting your virtual assistant business, is you literally have no skin in the game. It's free. If you download a free guide and never fucking read it, or if you join a free mailing list and you never read those emails and you just immediately archive them the moment they get in, you have no skin in the game. Nothing is holding you accountable with free information. And so it adds to this perpetual self-limiting conversation in your head that you can't do it. You can't do it. I mean, hello, Jeton. Can't do it. Look at all this free information you've gotten, and you still haven't started your virtual assistant business. Now you're getting down on yourself. Now you are discouraged, and it's just, it adds to that self-limiting ego conversation in your head that you can't do this. Because if you had all of this, you've read all this information, you've joined all these mailing lists, you've joined all these Facebook groups, and you still haven't started, then I guess you can't do it. Bullshit. That's bullshit. And that is part of why all this free information is actually working against you in some ways. Okay, so let's move on. Hi, Jenny. You're back on again. I love it. Okay, so let me quickly recap those 5 reasons why free information can be working against you and can create overwhelm. And I'm sure a lot of you have felt overwhelmed. I know I have conversations in my DMs all the time where everyone's like, oh my gosh, I've researched the absolute hell out of this thing and I still don't know how to get started. It's like, yeah, well, you're probably overwhelmed by all this free information. So reason number 1, multiple perspectives and lots of different advice. And you're like, I don't know how to sift through it all. Second, key pieces are missing out of this free information, obviously, because it's free. Third, you are like, it feeds this self-limiting belief that you're gonna like fuck this up and you can't do it right because you're missing information. That's the problem. You're missing information on how to do it. It's not that you can't, it's that you're not getting all the tools you need to get started. 4, it doesn't actually put a fire under your ass and get you started. And 5, you don't have any skin in the game. Hello, Jess. Jess is a Laptop Freedom grad. I love you. Okay, so here are my tips for navigating all that free information. Because I honor that some of you, you're at that stage right now where you're just curious about virtual assisting and free information is where you want to be. But let me forecast to you that if you stick with the free information, you soak in too much, it can lead to this kind of overwhelm that I'm speaking of and hold you back from actually getting started. So here's my tip. Choose 1 to 3 mentors that you really resonate with them and just follow them. And just close out all the other free information. If you Google it too much, then you're going to get overwhelmed. Here's a story, okay? I needed a pair of curtains for my bedroom, and I don't know if you guys shop Amazon like this, but I will literally go down Amazon, I'll type in like blackout curtains, whatever, and then I will like open 50 million tabs of like all the curtains that I think I want to consider, and then I'm going to the tabs and I'm like, oh my gosh, do I want beige? Do I want patterns? Do I want blue? And then I'm like, wait a second, which ones did I like? Oh wait, that one's got delivery too late. This one's Amazon Prime. Oh, this one's out of stock. Ooh, this one had bad reviews. You see where I'm going with this? It's like you have too many tabs open when you're soaking in all of that free information. So my first tip is pick 1 to 3 mentors who have done it successfully, who have started successful virtual assistant businesses, and just follow them. Follow them, focus on them. They resonate with you. You like them. They have similar stories to you. They're living a life that you want to soon be living, and just stick with them and close all the other tabs of free information. Capiche? Okay, give me like a yes, I comprende, Rebecca, what you mean. Jenny, yes, right? Okay, I'm gonna have a sip of my, what did I call it? Dark and stormy. Right, okay. Tip number 2. Right. There are a lot of ways to start a virtual assistant business. So one person isn't necessarily right or wrong. And I know that a lot of you have never started a business before and you're terrified of doing it wrong and fucking it up. Totally valid. I'm here to tell you right now, there's actually multiple ways to start a business. And that's why it's really overwhelming. Like, don't you wish you could just go to your like .gov website and it's like, Here's how to start a business. If you fill in all of this information and submit by mail, boom, you get a business. If it was that easy, then you wouldn't have all of this information. Part of the reason why there's so much information is, ta-da, there's multiple ways to do it. So when you are taking in information, when you're following 1 to 3 mentors that you really resonate with, choose the information that is most aligned with you, right? And it's going to be really dependent on your lifestyle, what you're into, what's your family situation, what's your household situation, all that kind of stuff. You are unique. And so if you are taking in information that has worked for someone and it's aligned with you, then pull that and then take some tidbits from here and take some tidbits from here. One of my favorite things to do as just a constant student and learner of life is I follow other business owners that I like how they run their business. I'm like, I like how they run your business. And I don't follow people that I don't really like how they run their business, because there's multiple ways to run a business. And so I follow the people I like how they run their business, and I'm like, how are they doing it? Because that feels aligned with me, and I want to start to make those adjustments in mine as well. So that's tip number 2. Know that there's multiple ways to start a business and find the information that's best aligned with you. In the Laptop Freedom Program, for example, I get to know each and every student really uniquely, and it's like, okay, what is going to work with you? What are your strengths? What are you resistant to? And let's build a virtual assistant business that's going to work well with you. Because I always say this, the only way to build a business is the way that works, right? That is, put that on my tombstone. The only way to run a business, build a business, is the way that works. And what that means is that it's going to be the way that works for you. And so in the Laptop Freedom Program or Laptop Moms Program, I get to know each and every one of you really uniquely. I get them to fill out all these journal prompts. I want to know all about them, what their desires are, and how each of them are going to be building their business is unique to them. And on the coaching calls and the mentoring calls, we dive into that. It's like, okay, like you should be focusing on this because that's what resonates with you. That's what's in alignment for you. Someone else, that's going to be different alignments, and so let's focus on there. I know many ways to build virtual assistant businesses. I mentor many women on starting virtual assistant businesses, so I know there's lots of different ways to do it. And so find information that is most aligned with you. Third, pay for information and mentorship from someone who's done it. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you are like totally bogged down with free information and you still don't have a virtual assistant business to your name, it doesn't mean you can't do it. It doesn't mean you fail. It doesn't mean you're not worthy. You are worthy of everything you desire. If you desire a virtual assistant business and you are ready to move on from being bogged down by free information, then it's time for you to consider to pay and invest in yourself and in your business. Pay for a program, pay for a course, pay for mentorship, someone who is going to get you out of bed, someone who is going to put a fire under your ass, someone who is going to sift through all the bullshit, someone who's going to tell you this is what your strengths are, this is where your resistances seem to lie. How can we build a perfect business that navigates both of those uniquely? Because the business that is most aligned with you is the one that's going to survive. It's the one that's going to expand. I take huge pride in the success rate of the women in the Laptop Freedom Program and how they continue to expand and increase their roster and explore niching down and all that kind of stuff. We want to build businesses that last, and those ones are the ones that are aligned. So when you start to pay for information, that also solves the issue of having skin in the game. Like, you better get up and work on this because you have invested in it. You've made a commitment to yourself that you're going to do this. And so that skin in the game is also really beneficial and helpful. Okay. 4th tip for navigating free information. I'm just going to scroll through the comments. Hello, everyone. Is take a moment, meditate, journal, lie in bed, think about it, write it down. dive deep into why you feel you are only worthy of free, incomplete information. This is a big one. We study a lot of empowerment and self-worth in the Laptop Freedom Program. It's the foundation that we stand on, empowered women. And start to dive into what it is about you that thinks you only deserve free information, or that there's scarcity. There's not enough, and so you have to go without, and so I guess your information can only be free, right? So I won't get into that anymore because people are probably squirming in their seats right now. They're like, ooh, Rebecca wants me to deep dive into why I think I'm only worthy of free information and that I have to sacrifice because there's a lack in this world instead of an abundance and enough for all of us. Okay, I'm going to pause there and let you marinate on that. So if you are now at the end of this live and you're like, you know what? I'm starting to get curious about moving on from free information. I get what Rebecca's saying, lots of overwhelm. And, maybe we'll start to get curious about mentorship program, all that kind of stuff. Laptop Freedom Program, I'll be opening another cohort in January. So it's a 4-month cohort, so I don't start it in the fall or it runs into Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and New Year's and Thanksgiving. And it's like setting everyone up for failure, really. Laptop Freedom Moms. If you are a mom, you can enroll at any time. So let me know in the comments if you are a mom to this group and you are ready to kind of say adios to the free information, bullshit, overwhelm, food to your self-limiting conversations and ego and all this kind of jazz, and you're like, I'm ready for someone to put a fire in my ass and get me out of bed and start doing the thing, then just let me know in the comments below. So I'm going to finish drinking my Dark and Stormy, and thank you so much for hopping on live.